Welcome to Soni Irabor Live. Well, tonight we're not fighting with the Atlantic Ocean, but we believe, in all honesty, the ocean has been restive and has taken a community that is dear to all of us and that has made some, important Nigerians over the years, in their growing up years. They grew up there. And whether we like it or not, the Niger Delta doesn't start and end with the Delta itself. Ondo is regarded, to me, as a Delta region. Because Ilaje, we all knew Ilaje in many years past. Today, Ilaje is like maybe 25% of its old self. And to me, that's a major, major distortion. It's an encroachment. But you cannot fight with nature. You can only ask, how can we manage with nature so that nature does not take everyone away? Okay, so I have in the studio with me today two gentlemen. The first one of us is an old colleague of mine, Revd Bayo Awala. If you know who Reverend is, from way back from the NTA, well, Nigerian television days, not just NTA as it was the NBC TV those days. Mm-hmm. And then you know what I'm talking about. Then we also have a medical doctor, is Dr. Joseph, what's your last name,
Ayelaje.
Sir? Sorry?
Ayelaje.
Ayelaje, you see?
I'm
always careful how I call those names from Ondo people. And these are products of, Ilaje. They are also products of Nigeria. And it's a society, they were groomed from, their early years into a society that we are proudly, I would say we are proud of today. So there are some things we hold back, with a pinch. But these people, when they look back, they will say, no, this wasn't how we started it. So the Ilaje community in Ondo State, on the coastline of Atlantic Ocean, is almost gone. We'll see a bit of them in our pictures as we move along. But you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're both
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, viewers.
So can you just give us a little bit of introduction of how Ilaje has suddenly become a shadow of itself?
Let me, once again, good evening, viewers. Let me begin this way. Ilaje is almost gone. Growing up, the community was about 1.3 kilometers from the Atlantic Ocean.
Ooh.
But as we speak, my village is only 300 meters away from being washed off.
Wow. That's a lot.
Some communities are not that lucky. Ayetoro community is right now in the throes of Atlantic Ocean.
That's what we used to say, comprehensive high school Ayetoro, right?
No, that's
in the
Abeokuta.
60s. Okay, Abeokuta. Okay.
This Ayetoro
Happy
started
City.
in 1947.
It's on Happy City.
It was a group of some religious people who felt disenchanted with the status quo of the Ilaje people, all those fetish things that they do. Mm-hmm. So they gathered themselves together and moved to this place they called Ayetoro. But that's by the way. So, Awoye is no more. Mese has been totally dislodged. In fact, every Ilaje community has been washed off, as it were. So we then, and the government has been very reluctant to do anything for these people. In fact, the call on government to remediate the environment has been going on since 30 years ago.
Wow.
And nothing has been done, nothing has happened.
That's quite a long time.
Yeah, So the present move is to do a documentary on the challenge posed by the ocean to these hapless coastal dwellers. And of course, if I may explain, the documentary is actuality. You see, this is what this place looked like, this is what it is now. Just in case we are not able to remediate the environment, if eventually Ilaje must move, then of course we have a record of it. If on the other hand, mercifully, the government, the World Bank, some agencies smile on us and get the coastline remediated, then of course, we still have a record that this was what it was and this is what it is now.
Remediation is something that can be discussed between Ondo State Government and the federal government. Yeah? And I know there's also international concerns, but there's climate change. How is climate change affecting all of this?
Yeah, there's climate change. Certainly affects that global effect. But of course, there are three other challenges, immediate challenge that noted the oil activity, exploration and operation activity.
Oh, it's an oil community actually?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The oil exploration activity around the community is really the major cause of this degradation that is happening to this.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're being asked that we should go on a short break to correct some technical things with you especially. So we'll be right back after the break. Welcome back. So, Soni Irabor Live was focusing on Ilaje community, and Dr. Joseph, you had something to say.
Yes.
Your name sounds like from a product of Ilaje.
Certainly, that name, I couldn't hide myself from that name, Ayelaje. Just a reflection, it reflects that ethnicity or that tribe. So I couldn't hide myself. Yes, according to the question, we were asking about the
intervention from,
the global effect of from the affecting that environment. Yes, what I'm trying to certainly it's a global effect, just like we said, it's a global effect. But then Ilaje is not. Global effects affect everybody. We wouldn't have isolated that area. But what I'm trying to say is that what is happening to that is due to the activity of those oil exploration, that explorative activity, another area that is affecting those communities. But of course, Ilaje had the longest coastline of all the state. I mean, all the local government around Nigeria. We have about 82 kilometer coastline. So it's a very 88. It's a very long coastline. So, but of course, there's no way that we won't have some challenges. And because of those oil activity, so those environments were grossly affected.
But didn't they do any soil tests before they started the activities? One would have expected a date, and otherwise, they didn't want to play on the ignorance of the people around there.
Well, truly, the people operate offshore in the Atlantic. So they are saying that they are not responsible for what is happening in Ilaje land. And of course, we have agencies that are in charge of this.
There's Ondo State or SOPADEC or something.
Yes, SOPADEC. Yes, There's also the federal. There's also the federal government and NOPRIC. There's also NOPRIC, which controls these organizations, and of course they should know. But that's not even the problem. Whatever is the cause that this thing is so, we want remediation. We want something to be done about our coastline, so that we don't all end up homeless. The challenge we have right now is how to restore life to Ilaje homeland.
So, and what effort have you made, Dr. Joseph?
Certainly we've meet together, we created group and we discuss. We meet the government officers, we are aware, we've met with them severally, and I don't really want to mention it, but every at level of
but was there any
level
response?
of government.
Like say, okay,
yeah, the rest
we are doing something, or we will do something.
Certainly, there will be response. Like we are talk of Osupadek now. The chairman of Osupadek has made a lot of activity, has visited that place even before the present one. Several chairmen have visited that place, and they promised to do something. Because some give excuses that the intervention may be beyond their capacity. But of course, the present chairman of that commission, which is Ondo State Producing Area Development Commission, or SUPADEC, is even an office where I work. Technically, I work, and not even about technical, I work with that office, but I'm now posted to those areas because those areas is those areas that will be affected because of this activity and people move, and the crisis that happened in 1989, the Joy Ilaje crisis, made a lot of people to leave that area. But because people have gone back to that area, but because people don't really want to go, and the activity, the poor living standard in that area. So health centers were built and we were posted to that area to work in that area. That is basically where I'm working. So where the present chairman of SUPADEC, Chief B. Poroyi, I visited that. I even went to Ghana. Visited Ghana, meet some contractor or expert that can do that job. I want to believe they were aware. Not that I want to believe that they are aware, because there's nothing. It's been over years. But just to be occasionally, it could be beyond their scope according to them. Maybe they look at the project. Maybe it could be then. It has to be a kind of collaboration, whether the federal government, then in the world generally too.
I was going to say, what is federal government doing about it? Because there's NEMA. That's the National Emergency Management Agency, right? They should be directly involved in things like this.
Well, see, the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road was supposed to pass on the coastline through Ilaje land, through Delta, to Calabar. That was the initial design. But because of the cost, the design has been changed.
To what?
Now, the coastline will go from Lagos, get to Ilaje, and from Ilaje, especially the part that is being washed off, it will thereof come to the land, and then, go from there. The cost is enormous. In 2004, NDDC awarded the contract for about $4 billion to halt the incursion, the sea incursion. The contract was given to a company called Gallant. After, doing some hocus pocus, they said they can't find sand, so they abandoned the project. In 2009, this same NDDC awarded another contract to Dredging Atlantic. They did nothing. So this whole thing is beginning to look.
It's one thing to award a contract, but it's another thing to have the fund.
Well, no, what's the point? Of course, they were given the fund. They were mobilized. So
according to what we heard.
I think that I don't want any government, whether state or federal, to think that the Ilajes are in opposition to them. No. I think that our roles should be complementary. This thing affects us.
Yes.
It affects us. So we must have a say in how it is done. But we don't seem to know who to hold accountable. The state government says it hasn't got enough funds, and I'm telling you, the entire Ondo State budget cannot fund it.
But let's be honest, a coastline contract is usually a federal contract. not state. It's a collaboration between the state.
Exactly. I like the word because yes, I like the word collaboration.
Yes.
Which is what our concern is. We want all the major stakeholders to come together. For goodness sake, what would it profit the government? What will it profit anybody if we are obliterated from the surface of the earth? What would it profit anybody? But that's where we are heading. That's where we are headed if nothing is done, to halt the surging ocean waves. It is that urgent. This thing has taken over about 60 years. I lost my father.
Zero.
Yes, I lost my father's house, my first father. See, the issue is this. Once the sea has washed off your village, you move.
You move inland.
You move inland.
Yeah.
So we are constantly moving. Everything in Ilaje land is tentative. Everything is tentative. Nothing is permanent.
Okay. All right. We'll be discussing some more, and I'm sure there will be time for people to even call in. But right now, we have some messages for you. So please, we'll take a short break, and we'll be right back. What happens if by the time you make all the efforts, you said 60 years, and now we're looking, if we count back 60 years to now, that's quite a lifetime, and you're not even up to 60 yet, I'm sure. So you can imagine.
I wasn't born.
Okay. But then what happens if you put up a proposal to the federal government, to the World Bank, beyond just federal government, because these things are usually done with international intervention.
Yeah.
What would you say?
That's what we are saying. Exactly where we are. See, we are saying that, to begin with, I just want the government, whether state or federal, to know that this is not a competition. We are complementing each other to bring solution to a tribe that is in danger of being washed off the surface of the earth. I want that one established. Which is why we said, let us do a documentary film. You can't go to United Nations and begin to speak with ordinary word of mouth.
Have pictures.
Exactly. Do a documentary that will show to them that truly these people are in peril. That the entire tribe, we are up to over 500,000 people. We're up to over 500,000 people. In fact, even more than that.
Are you saying, but they speak Yoruba?
Yeah, they speak, yes.
A dialect
of
Yoruba.
A dialect of Yoruba, yes.
Okay.
We're up to,
Majority are in Lagos, yeah. They are scattered everywhere.
Not only in Lagos, they are scattered all over everywhere. The entire coast, West African coast.
You can find water.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes. I was discussing this with a friend of mine. He said he was in Gambia, and he saw some Ilaje people were saying, these people here too. So the issue really is this. Sir, there is no option. This is 21st century. People are going to the moon. What is the problem about sand filling a coastline that is nothing.
In fact, because of what you have said now, I'll give you a chance. Atlantic City.
Exactly.
Is an example of what you
God bless you. God bless you.
Ileki is a sandfields area.
NTA was about less than 50 meters from where, from Lekki, where I was. Every year, the Lagos State Government was pumping, including federal government, they were pumping sand and it will wash it back. Until, of course, until, reprieve came and became a commercial venture, and there it is. Well, Ilaje may not be that fortunate, to be attractive commercially. But then, of course, it beholds the government to say, these are my people, and they are perishing. Whether state, whether federal, I don't know which one, but I don't care. We need help.
And you are Nigerians, you are entitled to it. Yes.
Just like you said the other time that nature, we are to control the nature. We don't allow the nature to take to be so hardship on us. We are to some extent we're able to control nature. But of course we have God made us king over made us have dominion over everything that He has created. But of course that is biblical. Now what practically we're saying is that what is happening in Ilaje? So the government will say they don't have the capital, they don't have the resources. But, sir, I don't want to believe that. I want to believe that government could do that, because if some of those things were done in 30 thereabout years ago when oil activity came about, the people that made the shell that discovered oil, they embarked those environments, those areas. But as a matter of fact, they took stone from Ondo State here, Okitipupa and the rest of them, Ore. Ondo State have the largest, they have a lot of stone, big stone that we take to that area. But of course they took it then where there was no even road. They mounted those things on the sea. In the sea, so to say, inside the sea, deep inside the sea. No, we're talking that is where those are the ones that the white
shelf was pushed further into the sea.
Because basically what they were doing, they played the canal. There was a canal they made then when the ship were coming, so that maybe because of their knowledge, so that that canal will not get filled up again. So they have to dredge that canal, and they made those stone into the sea, deep inside the sea. But now, if they can do that, so maybe about 30 or there, I was not even when oil activity came around, maybe about 30 or 35 years ago. What stopped us from just getting those stones again? Put it on the continental shelf. So at least when the sea comes back
from Delta State
and stop that activity.
Okay, there's a caller from Delta. Is it 10, I think? Yes. Hello. Ben, hello Ben, how are you?
I'm going from Delta State.
Yes.
Hello, I'm calling from Delta State. My name is Goben. I know you're talking about Ilaje. I want to bring up an issue in Delta State.
Okay.
Where they wanted the contract to dredge for the river for the past years till now. The river is overflowing with the weeds and all. They didn't dredge it, it's left.
Ben, the problem we're having is we cannot hear very clearly. So maybe you want to speak deliberately slower than you are doing now so that we can hear everything you are saying. Can you repeat what you just said, please?
Maybe you want to speak deliberately.
Okay. All right. He tried his best, but did anyone of you hear what he was saying? I think he was trying to liken something close to Ilaje in Delta State.
That's what he just said. I'm trying to say. In Delta State. So in those days, with those stones were made then into the sea, deep into the sea. Now what we were pleading for is that to put those stones are available. Get those stones along the coastline. Just simple. But if you put them along the coast so that when the wave come, it passes on those hit on those things. At least break them. We'll be able to go back again. Put enough of it, like about 30 feet wide or thereabouts on the coastline, and that at least stop the waves. That is what, but of course, that is doable. But of course, this is what is done in Lagos here. We can see it. It was done in Lagos here.
In fact, as Revd Bayo said, Lagos was an example. Bar Beach was a typical example of what you're saying now. Because, Bar Beach was 4 kilometers into the sea. And then from 1971, it started wiping slowly, and then came into where it was until it was reclaimed by the Atlantic City, line now. Yeah. However, there's a repercussion for that. When you reclaim one side, it moves further to the weaker side of the coastline. That's what we've noticed.
And it will go down the line. That's part of the thing that is affecting us too. It will go down the line. It will go. See, for me, I think that government must prioritize the lives of her citizens more than any industry. more than any other activity. Because it is because the people are there that you are governing, that you can claim to be governing. Are you governing the waves or the sand or, the land? It is because people are there.
Yeah.
So that must take superiority over anything else.
And the mere fact also that oil has been discovered in your area, it could give you priority, give them priority to say, save the people of this area, Let there be some measure of, I belong to this Ilaje community, oil is found in my area, so I should be able to get the proceeds of it.
There is 30% oil derivation, and we still receive it today. Where is the money?
Yeah.
No, well, see, semantics about money should not be our concern. Our concern is fix this place and let us live in peace.
But recently, the Ondo State Government said something about making an effort. What kind of effort was that? Because the way you are screaming or shouting for help now, and that means it must have reached his ears.
Definitely.
So one would expect that something good will come out of it. Can the state government do it?
I just told you. Okay, Osopadek budget is, I think, only about 33 billion, naira.
It's too small.
It's not only that it's too small. That is where they look after roads, look after many, abandoned projects, and so on and so forth.
And salaries as well.
So what will be left? I was telling you that because of cost implication, the federal government had to shelve its plan to build a road, from Lagos.
Now went
yeah, exactly. The minister said because of the cost implication.
You can imagine.
So what are we saying? What we are saying is this. Let's call for global involvement. United Nations to be. About 3 years ago, the UN, I think through the World Bank, had a project they called New Map.
Yeah.
The New Map was basically to look after desert encroachment and soil erosion on land.
Right.
And what was the amount? It was almost like $1 billion. $1 billion. So, see, by the time we call United Nations, donor agencies, even users, billionaires, there are many UN agencies that are in charge of climate change. This falls squarely into climate change.
You see, I mentioned climate change earlier because climate change is not only just about climate changing. All the cold lands are melting, the ice are melting, and the ocean is rising. And from our research and information getting to us, Lagos may be submerged in the next 50 years if care is not taken. And that goes to show the extent climate change can affect coastal lines. Now, having said that, yours is a community.
Not a community.
Not a community.
It's a huge.
It's a local government.
You said 82 kilometers.
Yeah, 88 kilometers.
88?
Yes, like a distance from here to Ibadan. Yeah. So we have about 300 communities. 300 communities in Ilaje land.
This is huge.
It is huge.
Okay. Right. The lines are all displayed for you to call and let us know your thoughts about this. But my question really is, has anybody made representation on your behalf to National Assembly, to NEMA?
I contacted the Minister of Environment.
Okay.
I actually wrote to them and they responded to me that the matter is with the National Assembly.
With the National, is there anybody from that part of Ondo State that is in the national.
That's escapism. Yeah. But you know what it is now. They don't want to do anything. So I'm alleging conspiracy. Sir, I'm alleging conspiracy against the Ilaje people. Seriously.
Wow,
yes, it's a serious matter. Why wasn't the Ilaje included in the new map? What can be more serious than, you know, a whole number of, you know, these people being washed off? Why would they be neglected from new map? But Ilaje was not there. Ilaje was not there. See, it's very unfortunate. You know why? Even in there is a portion of Ilaje, Araromi,
yes,
that is not affected by the surge. The sand beach is still there. Beautiful. It caught a penny.
Yes.
It's like
one of the other companies is also.
It's like Ilaje.
Yes.
They don't have erosion. They don't have soil erosion. They don't have you know, surge. I mean, you know, this is just it's unfortunate. This is just a portion in Nigeria that is, you know, experiencing this kind of thing right now. It's not as if, you know, it's multiplied all over the place. This is just the only place.
Well, you know,
even the government now diverting a project that's supposed to pass through that land because of cost and to another direct it to another direction.
I tell you, the cost implication is huge.
That's what makes it even more suspect in the sense that it looks like an attempt to, and without actually accusing anybody, but if there was that, you know, move made that you had to cut short and go inland and bypass just to make sure you avoiding the ocean, it means therefore that there's something that is needed to be, that needs to be done urgently for that area to be, you know, saved. Okay. Ilaje community, the Niger Delta is another one. And I've always wondered, you know, in fact, from Ekpe, I'll be honest with you guys. When I say Ekpe is far inland actually. But on the ocean side, there's the distance between, okay, we have another caller, I've just been told. Ibadan. Okay, hello, Ibadan, how are you?
Thank you very much. Good evening, sir. Hello?
Go ahead, good evening. Go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you? I'm enjoying your program, and I'm glad you're bringing spotlight to this issue. This issue is very, very critical. It affects both flora and fauna. Human beings behave as if this earth belongs only to us exclusively. That is not so. That is not so.
Okay. So what do you advise?
And again, in my own view, it highlights government uncaring, insensitive, and irresponsible behavior towards the citizens.
The government to be more sensitive to the plight of the people. Is that what you're saying? Okay, we've lost him, but he has said a few things.
Yeah.
And you are directly hit or involved in all of these.
Certainly.
Would you agree? Well, there are two things, two major points. The fauna and the, what was the other one?
Flora and fauna.
Flora and fauna. Yes, but that's nature, that's serious nature.
See,
and,
sir, sorry.
Yes.
I think that what we are saying is not strange to anybody from Ilaje land. Ilaje occupies a peninsula bordered by the Atlantic Ocean and a creek, indeed a wetland, where there is a creek that runs for about 10 kilometers. So, because the ocean has breached the peninsula, both salt water and fresh water have kissed. the major occupation of Ilaje is fishing.
Yes.
Yeah. They fish in the Atlantic and in the creek. Both sources of fishing are in trouble because the saltwater and the freshwater have kissed. The fish have found their level. So freshwater fishing is dead in Ilaje.
Dead, yes.
In the Atlantic Ocean, because of the oil exploration and exploitation, and also plastic waste, the cash from that has been so small that Ilaje tribe has become nomadic.
Oh.
He just told you, they are everywhere. They are everywhere. West Africa, East Africa, everywhere. So if you go to take census in Ilaje land, I mean, you'll be lucky if you find up to about 250,000 people.
Yes, I'm still worried about the issues raised. I would have loved a situation where representation, I use the word representation deliberately, because there are issues here. Lives are involved. Lifestyle is also involved. The forest is involved. So many things are involved. So economy is involved.
Certainly.
So what then should we and can we do to make sure some of these things are truly, nipped in the bud? That's a major question. Right.
Yes, I think you, just like you said, representation will be made and proposal written even to the federal government, to the House of Assembly. Just like you said, just like you asked the other time, whether the federal government was they were seriously aware, because there's one Adejo that was the House of Rep. He presented that in the floor of the
Ojogo.
No, before Ojogo.
Before Ojogo, okay.
Kolade.
Okay.
Kolade. He presented, but of course we saw the presentation and was fantastic. But yeah, government has not really done it. Ojogo is still there now, and I think we're still saying the same thing.
Very
Jimo Ibrahim, from those areas, that area too. But of course it's an Kalima, there's him in the inland. But of course he's part of the people and part of us. Yet nothing has still been, but of course the government will say they are doing something anyway. Certainly they will see something.
No, we're doing something and not doing anything.
That is
a major issue. Anyway, we'll take another short break before we conclude, and then we'll be right back. Ilaje community is an area we are concerned about, and if I have a position in any stake at any time, I should think of the people that I'm representing. So this falls squarely on members of the House of Representatives and the Senate, because the National Assembly has a lot to do on this. And who are the major names we remember? Senator who?
Yes, Senator Jimo Ibrahim.
Jimo Ibrahim.
Yeah, represent that area.
Oh, in that area?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And then what about our House of Reps?
The House of Reps is Donald Ojogo.
Ojogo.
Okay. Well, these are people, we will see if we can send invitation to them to come and at least let us know what the National Assembly is doing about it. Because the truth is, whether we like it or not, whether we focus on it or we do not, lives are being threatened, lifestyle is being distorted. And the people from that area along the coastline, like other people in other parts of Nigeria and indeed parts of Africa, this coastline is heavily threatened. Climate change is affecting all of us, and we're also aware and worried about what will happen in the next few years if care is not taken. So we're about to round off. What will be your last shot, sir? No, you speak last. You speak last. Yes, Dr. Joseph.
Yes, our last advice is to, just for the purpose of this program, is to, for our representative, to at least to stand to the tax before that, challenging the people and save these people. And the government should not turn deaf ear. Deaf ear. But of course, we are in government. Almost all the positions in the state will be headed by the larger people, the governor, the governor, the other offices, other offices.
So you have a good opportunity.
You have the opportunity. We had almost all the positions. Almost all. When I say almost all, we had almost all the positions. But yet, our people were not even looking back. That is not even the pain, because I serve in that area. I face it. I face the people. I face the challenge. Even so, I face the challenge in myself. So when people leave, and it seems as if they forgot what was happening at home, is painful. And that is my message to every one of them, that they should look back home and do something.
Okay. Revd Bayo.
I don't even know what to say. The last time I traveled home, I had to pass through the Atlantic Ocean to get to my village. I had to pass through the Atlantic because the peninsula has been breached. I just want to say to the government, please, think about us. There are some of us who can make contributions. Let's get everybody together, especially on this documentary. We can globalize it. Yes, we can make this thing go global so that everybody will hear about it, everybody will know about it, and maybe, who knows, help will come. Even if help doesn't come, let's have a documentary that says this was Ilaje and this was where it used to be. It is no more.
And just before we round off completely, I have something to say. It's an oil-producing, community. So, for that reason alone, all stakeholders, including the oil companies, should join hands with government at federal, government at local government, government at state level, should please join hands together with the oil companies and see what can be done to, salvage what is left of Ilaje community. And I'm sure also that we can actually push the ocean back. You see, there's a conversation with the ocean, whether we like it or not. God did not make us the way we are, just like that. The ocean has life. It also responds to human nature. Thank you all, Revd Bayo Awala.
Thank you very much,
sir. Dr. Joseph Ayelaje. You see, I have to be very careful about your name. Thank you all very much for coming. And for the Ilaje community people who may be watching this, don't worry, there's no despair yet. We'll get over it. And I'm sure President Tinubu and Governor Ayedatiwa, they will all join hands together. And those, Senator Jimo Ibrahim, congratulations, I hear you are now an ambassador. Well, and then the Ojogo, who's of the House of Reps, please look at the Ilaje community. It's a very serious issue. And similar communities in the on the coastlines of Nigeria. Thank you all. Good night. God bless.